Mickey Talks.
Okay, so to be honest, we were on what we thought was on the air for about 8 minutes. And then I went to the page to check
Nothing wrong
it
with
out.
a warm-up, man.
No,
There's
we had a
nothing
little
wrong with a
warm-up.
warm-up.
It was a layup line.
And if you watched it on YouTube and it came up for 7 minutes, we apologize, but our other feeds were all knocked off. So we had to restart. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, I should say. It is Mickey Talks, brought to us, by the way, by Barnes Paving,
There you
which
go.
I did not do in the practice round.
See?
BarnesPaving.com. Give them a call if you need paving. 443-243-3710. They are amazing. That's BARNES paving.com. They do everything. Commercial paving, residential, driveways, seal coating, anything, crack filling. They're incredible. They serve the whole Maryland area. Give them a call. No job too big, too small. They can do it all. BarnesPaving.com. Now joining us in the studio, Matt, I'm getting right into it because
Let's do it, yeah.
Well, yeah, it is my good friend and fellow comedian, Larry Lancaster. Welcome to the show for the second time, Larry.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah.
See, that's worth the wait. I got 2 shots in one day.
Yes.
It
And
shows
one,
like deja vu, man.
yeah, but only everybody heard one of them.
Right,
That's the
right.
problem. We met before the show. I'll recap. Met your beautiful wife, Kay,
Yes.
who I called Trinity for no
called
reason
Trinity.
whatsoever.
She's just like a Trinity.
And you said that.
That's a Trinity outfit. Like she does poetry and cafe bars.
Now, I got to ask you, Larry, I talked about this on the practice round, but you've always been a very handsome man.
Thank
you
you,
are
brother.
a handsome man.
Thank you.
And I know you have a very beautiful wife, right?
Yes.
Do you two plan on children?
Well, no, because
Okay,
I'm
good.
too old to do that now.
Okay, good.
I'm
And-
not having
and
my own
you're-
grandkids.
Right. And but you're both two. I don't like when two really good looking people have a kid, because they make like super babies. And it's just not fair for ugly guys like me.
Well, sometimes the baby is not as good looking as the
Yeah,
expectation.
that happens. By the way, the ugliest woman I ever met, both her parents were great looking.
Wow.
It was like one of those things you wanted to walk in and just look at the parents and go, what happened?
Right. Who's lying?
Yeah, who's lying here? Yeah. Which one?
That's a mailman
Which
baby.
one of you
Right.
banged me?
But Mickey, you always did pretty good, man. I remember your ex, and she looked like a Jamie Lee Curtis.
She was.
remember.
I've been very blessed with women in my life as far as attractiveness. The sanity part is where it gets a little goofy, but I'm the
Yeah,
worst.
yeah.
I'm the craziest son of a bitch anybody knows.
My wife is absolutely certifiably crazy,
That's-
but in a good way.
That's why. Listen,
Yeah.
I've said this for 56 years, or however long I'm allowed to say shit out loud. I truly believe this. If you have a woman and she's very stable and she's nice,
Yes.
but you got a woman that wakes up sometimes on a Saturday and she's cutting the grass for no reason, and it's like the grass only an inch tall and she's out
Right.
there mowing it. That's love right there, man. That's where you start going, oh, she's a little bit crazy.
No,
This is
my
fun.
wife is I know not to play with her. I learned very
Yeah,
early.
yeah. You know what else I think guys like you and I found, especially being performers, we kind of need a woman every now and then that just goes, yeah, you're great, but I wash your clothes. Don't forget,
Right.
I know who
Yeah,
you are,
yeah.
right?
And she
yeah.
busts my balls all the time.
We need it. We do need it.
Yeah.
We do.
I do.
How much are you working now, man, comedy-wise? Are you getting up a lot?
I work pretty. It's not as much as it used to be.
Yeah,
Because I'm really getting to the point where I love being at home,
I get it, man.
and the finances are set where I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's God
Right.
blessing me, but I still love to do it. And every once in a while, I have shows here
Yeah,
and there, but
yeah.
it's before, I'm gonna tell you what happened during the pandemic. I really got a chance to slow down, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it because
Yeah.
before the pandemic, it was like every night of the week,
Yep.
every weekend, and I always felt like shit. If I'm not busy, I'm not productive. And then I got to really enjoy life, spend time with my son, spend time in the house, and I was like, okay, when the pandemic is over, if it's ever over, because there was a time when we
didn't know if that was
Right.
life forever, right?
I would say I'm not going back to the rat race.
You know what the COVID did for me, though, speaking of performing? When COVID hit, after about 4 months, it dawned on me that nothing in my life changed. I didn't leave the house before then.
Right.
I hated people before then. I wasn't doing comedy before. I was in a bad spot before
Really?
COVID. COVID made me go, wait a minute. Something's up. I don't even give a shit that this stuff's
Right.
going.
Were you not doing comedy in 2020?
When all that hit, I was at the lowest point I'd ever been in my life. Work, everything. Just like I was checked out mentally. You guys got to remember, man, I had a 30-year run of just 100 miles an hour every day of my life. So when it slowed down, which was depression, it didn't slow down. I slowed it down. I just checked out for a while, man. And then recently got back into it. You know what I mean? I feel good again about everything, you know, but I think back on some of those times. I remember you're doing a late show. Remember the midnight shows?
Yes. I was telling my wife about this at the Comedy Factory, the old Comedy Factory.
Woo!
You had to do 3 shows on a Saturday.
It was brutal.
It was brutal.
8, 10, and 12.
Yes.
And that 12 o'clock show, let me tell you something. This is no lie, Matt. I would headline them a lot. As the headliner, I would be one of 4 white people at the late show. And it wasn't like the first 2 shows were great, mixed, it didn't matter. But that late show was when the real gangsters came out.
And they had to be drunk by midnight too, right?
I remember Larry on stage one night, though, and some guy came at you, like, not up physically, but like verbally. And Larry, because Larry was pretty, man, don't get me wrong. But I knew Larry was the real deal. Like, you worked as a correctional. And when this dude started mouthing off, and then Larry come right back, and I'm in the back going, all right, I'm just telling you right now, if this goes down, I'm diving out the window.
You know where the back door is, right?
Both sides are going to kill me. They don't care, right? So but man, you handled that.
What was crazy was that 10 people could go on stage and nobody would bother these guys.
Right.
And then when I came on stage, I guess I looked like an easy win. You know,
right.
I'm not a big guy. I'm fit, but I'm small.
Right.
I had the glasses on. So I guess people like, oh, I could take this, you know?
Yeah.
So they would fuck with me all the time. And I would always have to handle the hecklers. And I would destroy it. And then some guys,
that's why you got to get respect, I guess.
Yeah.
Some guys want to fight after that.
Yeah.
And then I have to and I'm pretty good at that too. So let's just keep it where it is.
I remember one night in the lobby, somebody said something smart to you, and you just took your jacket off, and I was like, oh, this ain't good. And then the security came, but you didn't even think twice.
No.
I don't even know any other profession where you would have to fight for your job.
Strippers.
You know?
Strippers, they fight all the time. Them bitches are crazy.
Yeah, especially the big ones.
Oh, woo. Are you still doing the correction officer stuff?
No, man.
How long has that been?
I left that in like 07.
No kidding.
Yeah, I left that in like
How long
07.
did you do that?
I did that for 13 years.
I used to worry about you.
Yeah, really?
You were at the big joint,
Yeah,
right?
I spent 3 years at the penitentiary.
Right.
And then I did 10 years at Baltimore County Detention Center. Yeah. And I was doing comedy moonlighting at night.
Yeah.
And then at some point I was like, yo, you're not really going to make it doing this job.
Yeah.
You got to give it up.
You can't make it
Not
part-time.
to mention, that can't be like a good precursor to a great comedy show on some nights.
Well, actually, it is because some of the funniest people I've ever met,
no doubt,
worked in corrections because it's a coping mechanism. Like you get this very dark, crazy sense of humor, right? And then the inmates are funny as hell. Like you really had to be like these guys,
like intentionally funny.
Man, I remember this lady. She was telling me when she first started, she was an OG, so she kind of trained me.
Yeah,
short lady. Chocolate lady, real pretty chocolate lady, nice lady, but she had
so cool. He can say that. If I said chocolate lady,
you say it all the time.
I never said chocolate lady.
I love your bit on when you say you like black women. It's funny as shit, but we'll get back to that.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, the lady had a burn from her neck and her chest, and you can see it.
Yeah.
And she said, the inmate said, "Damn, I know that coochie good. That bitch melting." And she said she wanted to cry, right? But she said, these are the things that you got to get used to.
Yeah, man.
Because these guys, they got life, triple life. They don't care what they say to you.
Yeah, that means nothing, man. Yeah. And what made you want to do it? First start doing comedy?
Well, I was just getting out of the military. I was 23 years old. I had no job prospects. And of course, you know, the recruiters lie to you and say, hey, man, when you do this job, you'll be able to transfer it.
Right.
So I said I wanted to do something in computers, right? So I'm thinking, shit, computers was the wave. You got to think this is in 89.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that's the future. So I was do something in computers. They put me in field artillery with a computer. Like you use a computer to blow shit up. Now, how does that translate to regular life?
Hey, by the way, the guy running our IT department right now just spent 4 weeks in Fallujah.
Right.
He's fine.
Right. Saudi Arabia, Persian Gulf War, all of that. I did all that.
Yeah, you were there.
So, but it was feeling like, it wasn't like I was doing hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
But it got pretty dicey at some point. And so when I left, I had met my wife in Germany.
Right.
I told all my Nubian queens, they used to say, don't go over there and marry none of them white girls.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm Malcolm X. I love my sisters. And that's exactly what I did. I found the most beautiful. She was Croatian and
Right.
Italian, and it was like love at first sight. She was a great woman.
Yeah.
And we met, fell in love, and so I came back and I had to get a job.
Yeah.
And that was the first place that
Did
called.
she come with you?
Yeah, well, I eventually sent for her like a few months. I saved up money. She lied to her
I always
parents.
wish I could have said that as a
Yeah.
grown man. Like, I sent for her. You know what I mean? They
Oh, you
always
white-
sent.
You
They
white
always.
guys, you do it all the
You're gonna get
time.
smacked
You
for
have
that,
mail
man.
order brides all the time. Like Mickey, I don't know why you're saying that. I know some old Vietnam vet with a 23-year-old Vietnamese wife walking around in Columbia
I'm telling
Mall.
you right now, my next wife. I've done it twice.
Mhm.
If I do it the third time, I'm telling you right now, she's about 93 years old. Right? She got a cough.
Yeah.
And she got a bunch of money, and it's all going. You know, we
Right.
got to take one sex.
right.
One time she has sex, she's gonna die.
And she'll go
I'm
out
in.
with a smile.
I'm in. I am in. Hands down.
So that's how I ended up doing corrections, and it was supposed to be like a temporary thing. And I used to hear all the old cats say, "Man, when I first started, I was going to do this shit for a year.
Yeah.
I'm here 23 years, you
Yeah.
know." And so at some point, I just had to go.
Think about Ricky Shackelford.
Yeah.
How long Ricky been doing it? Man?
Ricky's been doing it for like I think 40, 50
Yeah.
years.
I got 40 under my belt now.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
year marks 40.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That's great, man.
No, it
Listen,
ain't.
people don't know this.
I'm still doing it.
This guy was Joe Rogan before Joe Rogan.
Stop it.
I'm telling you.
Nah, come on.
I'm telling you, he was. I mean, we knew who Joe Rogan was, but
Right.
we didn't know Joe Rogan was a comedian.
Right.
We used to see him on X Factor,
Right.
and then found out later he was a comic. But Mickey, I'm telling you, a rock star.
Oh.
Like we would go up Westminster, all the Trump country. Anywhere where you see that they got flags on the porch.
Hey, let me ask you. All right, this is a great example. You're a great example of this. So you are a real, I mean, I say it this way for people to understand. You're a black comedian. You talk
Right.
about the black experience a
Right.
lot, that whole thing. You came and did years with me on the road for all them hillbillies.
Right.
How'd they treat you?
Hey, man.
Am I lying?
It was wonderful.
It's incredible. Isn't it?
Sometimes it's scary.
Yeah.
Like motherfuckers invite you to their homes. Like, hey man, come on, you don't have to drive back. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Aren't they great
But
people?
no, great people.
It's incredible.
Great
man.
people.
Yeah.
Great people.
Yeah. And
Real cool people.
And it was funny, like where I grew up, you know, in the city, like I had a black experience. Like so I did go with black audiences.
Right.
We did black shows together.
Mickey, that's why the black comics, see, people don't know this.
Right.
There are two sides. You got the mainstream side, then you got the urban side.
Right.
In comedy.
Yeah.
Urban really just means black.
Yep.
Mainstream means white.
That's
Or
exactly what
black
it is.
people who hang with white people.
Yep.
So when you do the urban side, it's different. The cadence is different.
Everything.
Because black people, everybody in the audience think they're funnier than you. So you got to win them over, right? The mainstream audience, even when they're rowdy, they still appreciate the fact that you got the balls to do it. Because no matter how funny they think they are, they know they can never get on stage.
Yeah, you can't tell a black audience, so you come up here.
Right.
Because
And
everybody
they'll
will.
come.
Yeah, there'll be a head that seat.
I've made the mistake and offered the mic to some people, and next thing I know, they were on stage snatching the mic out of my hand. So yeah, but Mickey, the black comics always love Mickey because a lot of the mainstream comics, they can't do black rooms.
Yeah.
Guys like you would like to pioneer the shit. Mickey could come in the blackest room and kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I seen him do it.
Well, didn't you play Harlem? Did you?
No, I played in Harlem. It's a weird story. I got to explain that story one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I did everything. I love doing it. Black rooms were my favorite.
And Justin
Justin
Slade
was
another
awesome.
one. Justin
Yeah.
came up with us
Yeah.
and learned. And Justin has one of the most unique streams of consciousness.
It's wild.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
and
amazing.
I used to love doing black rooms. They were my favorite rooms. I mean, I loved them. Here's why I love black comedy. And the truth is, my biggest influences in comedy are black.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, I learned Richard Pryor, Red Fox. I learned Paul Mooney later, but like that stuff to me, just I don't know why, but it spoke to me in a weird way. You know, I've heard people do it with music. Like, you know, the first time I heard this artist,
Right.
and it might be a white guy or a black guy, it
Right.
doesn't matter.
Right.
The music or whatever hits you. Black comedy hit me, and I think it was the pain in black comedy.
Now, was Eddie Murphy part of that?
Yes, I mean
Oh,
Eddie
Eddie
Murphy
Murphy.
was. Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God!
Eddie Murphy was the first comedian to make comedy sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Comedy was never like
He was the first rock star
he
comedian.
was the first. Well, Richard was a rock star, but
But
in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
He wasn't. Richard wasn't sexy. Eddie made comedy cool.
Yeah.
Like you know, when you wore the leather
leather
suit,
suit.
and you was like, y'all want to be cool like this guy.
Yeah.
So Eddie was the first guy to do that.
And then for white comics, it was weird because then you had like Sam Kinison and Dice came out in the 80s, and they were like rock stars in a way.
Right.
So that's when comedy to me became amazing, because you could be a performer, an artist.
Right.
You could have an image. It wasn't just some dorky guy standing there with a microphone and a sweater.
Right. Because we also grew up on the Tonight Show circuit.
Yeah,
a
no
lot
doubt.
of us, that's the first time we actually saw comedy on the Tonight Show. And of course, that was a different cadence. The guys wore suit and tie.
Yeah.
They were clean. They had a beginning, middle, and a setup, like punchline jokes. They had jokes. They didn't do social commentary to the degree. But then Lenny Bruce, who was the precursor to Richard Pryor, changed all that. He would just go up and talk.
You know what I dig about you, man, and it's true. Timmy Hall's the same way. I can name a bunch of guys, but as far as black comedians, you guys understood the whole arc of it, where it started, who grabbed it, where it went. You're comedians. Doesn't matter if you're black or white. Like me, I'm a comedian. I love it all. So all right, we can't go down comedy lane.
I know, because I'm about to bring up Gary Shandling and all these other guys.
God, I could do this.
Yeah, so
you and I are students of the game. Speaking of students, how old's your son?
My son's 22.
Wow.
And for people who don't know, I have a son, a beautiful. He looks like a Greek god, and he does ballet. I
met him at Magooby's when you brought him up to see me perform 4 years ago, whenever that was. And I said to Larry, I said, man, your son's a good-looking boy. What a good kid, right? Manners through the roof. And just a great kid. And I said that. I said, what a great young man. He goes, you should see him dance, right? And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? He goes, he's a ballet dancer. I said, no shit. God damn. How'd he get into that?
Well, he got into that because he actually started dancing as soon as he could walk.
No kidding.
He started doing hip hop. Then that evolved into, he did a Michael Jackson routine. He would wear the outfit, had the white glove and everything. He got so good at it.
By the way, so did Larry. He's trying to hide it and pawn it. That's where the kid got. He went in his father's closet and stole the costume.
I can't dance at all. So he started doing this routine, and he started getting booked. For kids' parties and fashion shows, and he got really great at it. So his mom said, I'm going to sign him up for ballet at Peabody just so he can have a base. We never thought he would stick with it because he was doing hip hop and all that stuff, and he ended up liking it. This is when he was 9 years old, and he stuck with it. Then he, when he got to go to high school, he went to the School of the Arts. Got trained. He still was going to Peabody. He was a athlete. He could play baseball, all these different things. He was doing
but he just loved it.
But the ballet took up so much of his time, he just had to devote everything to it.
And is he still doing it?
Oh yeah, he's in Seattle. He's a professional dancer now. He's at the Pacific Northwest Ballet. So after while he was in School of the Arts, he got I hope I'm not boring people with this shit.
No, this is fascinating.
I love talking about my son. He got accepted into a 2-year apprentice program. So he was still a junior. So he had to finish his, and this all happened during the pandemic. So we had to ship him out there, take him out there, get him on an apartment, which was $1,400 a month. My goddamn rent wasn't $1,400 a month. And so we had to get his furniture, everything, and we had to leave our baby in Seattle for 2 years by himself.
And did all right.
And he did it. He did it.
How old is he now?
He's 22.
Wow, that's such a. I can't, because my boys right now are 18, 21. My daughter's 22. I can't imagine driving my sons across the country, getting them an apartment and saying, all right, good luck, buddy. That's got to be grueling as a father.
That's basic. Well, as a father, it's a little different because, I went in the military kind of.
Yeah, we know we can do it.
Yeah, but the mom, the way she handled it, and she taught him how to cook. She taught him all these different things, and of course, him being with me, learning that we had confidence knowing he would be okay. But you still worry.
Yeah, that just means you did a good job. The fact that he was able to do that.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, Larry. I think you're a good man anyway, so of course you're gonna raise a good boy.
So I was dating this young lady, and I had a big poster of my son doing like a split midair, right? And so she was like, "Why you got this guy on your wall?" I'm like,
she walks in, look at Larry's got ballet dancers.
She's trying to see if I'm gay, right?
Right.
And so I said, "That's my son," and she was like, immediately. So how does it feel to be raising a young gay black male? And I was like, first of all, he's not gay, right?
Wow.
And I had to clear that up for her. But one day I was riding with my son, and I told him, I said, listen, if you were gay, you know I would still love you.
Right. Yeah.
And he looked at me and was like, why you felt the need to say that? I said, I just felt compelled to say it.
Because you've been ballet
You're a
dancing.
goddamn ballet dancer. You spend a lot of time on your toes. Like you never know. Goddamn. You're not playing ball, but you're the manager of the basketball team.
It's good you gave him that you gave him that door, that opportunity
Hey,
to
man,
talk.
I'm not gonna lie. And when Bub comes in, my son, I call him Bub.
Mm.
When he comes in again, I'll tell the story. He was young, and he was just he was a very, very like I don't know the right word because I actually wish I was more like him. He's just a very kind soul, and when you're used to being an asshole as a man, and hanging out with nothing but assholes, and then you meet a really good, kind, peaceful person, you're like, he's gay.
Yeah.
No way, that guy ain't gay.
Yeah.
Right, and it's your own son. And I remember I said to him, hey, buddy, if you're gay, I don't care, man. I love you.
You dress really well,
right?
buddy.
And so he looked at me and he's like, what? And I'm like, never mind.
And
I'm just saying, like,
I definitely understand that because my son grew up, you shelter your kids.
Of course.
So I'm from the project. So when I would go back
Right.
to visit my grandmother, who at the time was still living there,
Yeah.
and I would take him with me, and then he would see the kids out playing. Can I go play with them? I'm like, nah. They pit bulls. You a show poodle. Let's just.
Now, is your mom still alive?
No.
No.
This is with my mom's passed, my dad passed, and my grandmother just passed last
Larry, I'm
month.
sorry, man.
The woman who raised me.
Yeah, I
That was
remember you
my-
talking about her. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm sorry,
it's
buddy.
just me, man. We getting up
Not
in
just
age.
you. You got Trinity.
Yeah, but Trinity's here, of course. And shout out to my wife because she really helped me get through because I really thought it would be a lot rougher time when my grandmother passed, but she really helped me get through it.
Yeah, it's weird. They say, the woman that raises you, whether it's your mother or grandma, that's the first true love of your life. And then I realized when I had a daughter, that's the last true love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that honest where you just, but it sounds like you might have married your last true love.
Yeah, no, that's my dog right there.
I'm so happy for
That's
you.
my dog.
And I'm happy for you too, Kay, because he's a good man. I really like Larry. All right, Larry, we got a new segment on the show. We want you to jump in it. By the way, you have any shows coming up you want to promote?
Actually, yeah. We have a open mic that we do every Tuesday.
Where?
At the House of Chiefs, 4306 York Road. It's a nice venue.
Is that in the city?
4603.
You said
No.
4306.
Oh,
You
did I? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I said it's 4603 York Road, and it's called the House of Chiefs. And we do an open mic. All artists are welcome. Like whatever your
Is it a black room?
no.
Not everybody coming in?
Yeah, everybody.
Good. I'm
like we had
Tuesdays?
Sean Savoy. He brought up Matt Charlie and all the
Okay,
guys
cool.
came.
So
I mean, it
Tuesday
is black
nights?
people there, but
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm not coming.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. So Tuesday nights? What
Tuesday
time?
nights at 7.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll get off here on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm coming.
And it's
Yeah.
a great one. And then May the 3rd and May the 4th, I'll be performing with my wife because my wife's a singer,
You're a singer?
an amazing vocalist. Yeah.
No kid.
She's
We're gonna
amazing.
have her. I'd have known that. Your
Yeah,
ass wouldn't be here.
She'd
She'd
amazing.
be here.
I mean, she's the star.
Really?
She's the star. Yeah. I'm Jay-Z. That's Beyonce.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're starting to perform together, and we do weddings, bar mitzvahs, all this kind of stuff. It's cool to actually work.
So
with
you do comedy and host it.
right, and, then,
you
then I bring her up.
I gotta
and
get
then
me a talented woman.
Yeah. Everybody works in the house, man.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, I'm
Everybody.
trying to get my kids to learn how to carry microphones or something. They're worthless with helping
Right.
me.
And I take our daughter, and we have she's 15. She'll be 16 in July. And I take her to the radio station with me, and she's learning the equipment and all that stuff. So
Man, that's
and
awesome.
she's an actress. She actually goes to the School of the Arts.
What is it with you, Larry? You have sex with women and then you just produce movie stars. What the hell is? I might take a shot with you, Larry. See what happens. No, so listen. This is a new segment. We are looking for a sponsor for this segment, by the way. So please reach out. If you want to call us, you can call us anytime. 443-626-7111. You can give us a call here in the studio. But right now it's a new feature we are going to call Matt's Music Minute. Now it's just like, it can be historical. It's just music news. It could be anything. No music, though. Just stories. So, Matt, take it away.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a sponsor for this,
Looking
too.
for a sponsor for this. So
Yeah.
our first story, Keanu Reeves has been cast as a villain in the new Weezer movie. Did you know that Weezer was doing a new movie?
No, Larry, do you know who Weezer is?
I've heard of them.
They're like the whitest band
No, I've heard of.
Yeah.
I remember. What's it? Janine Garofalo had a
Garofalo.
punchline.
Yeah,
about
Weezer. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, they're a good band. I like them. They're doing a movie about them.
Yeah, so Keanu Reeves is set to play a villain in the upcoming Weezer movie. He's confirmed the movie is a real thing while appearing at Coachella last weekend. The Weezer film will apparently be like a mockumentary-style movie.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's about the rivalry between the band Weezer and Dogstar, which is Keanu's band. You remember Dogstar?
Yeah, of course. I saw them at Bowhager's.
Yeah, Keanu came to 98 Rock.
Yeah, I've met him.
What it was, early 90s.
Yeah.
And hung out. Wouldn't let us talk about movies
Yeah.
at all. All he wanted to talk about was
Yeah.
Dogstar. He was
Yeah.
a bass player in Dogstar.
I tell you, I've met him a couple times. He's truly one of the nicest human beings.
Yeah, you some people you could tell, and it sounds like a very good movie.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
they're saying that it's going to be along the lines of Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the Weird Al Yankovic story.
I love
but
that movie.
They're going to kind of comparing it to that. Johnny Knoxville is going to be in it. Juliette Lewis, Eric Andre, Ben
This movie's
Schwartz,
going to be huge.
and of course
Yeah.
Weezer will
Yeah.
also be in the film.
Yeah, this
as
movie's
well.
going to be huge.
I want to see it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And just for the record, I thought Maroon 5 was the whitest band to white people.
I don't know,
Really?
man. Weezer's probably up there.
You
with-
think Maroon 5 is
No,
white?
black people love Maroon 5.
Right, I
But I
guess-
know I hear white people complain about Maroon 5 all the time.
You know why? Because it's got soul in it. Whenever music has soul, white people go, I don't like it, damn it.
Right.
I'm moving my pelvis and I'm not even trying. That's what happens with white people. Like country music fans are standing there. And the problem with country music, when you dance it, you just do everything in line,
Right.
everything together. You hear black music and your body just starts moving. You go, wait a minute, I'm not in control anymore. That's what happens. That's why everybody freaks out about black music when you're white.
Right.
I love it. My boys know. Like my
Same.
boys, 18 and 22. Ready? I'm in the car last night. We're driving to the store and back, right? Two boys and me, and I let them hook their iPods up all the time, and they play music. My first one puts on Sam Cooke, 22 years old.
Wow.
And I look over and just said to myself, that's me. That's not your mother.
Right.
I know where that came from. Right? Then they take turns. The second one puts on Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Wow.
I'm like, yep. I raised a good, solid black family.
Love it.
I did. I raised a good, solid black family. And nobody's stopping me.
And look, here's what's crazy. Our daughter loves Doris Day.
Well, what a voice,
Right.
though, man.
I'm
I
just
mean,
like,
yeah.
she loves Doris Day.
that's
man.
you know what I've said, Larry, you and I are proof of this. I believe Timmy's another one. Lonnie. Like,
Yeah, Lonnie.
when you get around dudes and you all had similar upbringings, I have found my love from black music came from my black friends. And my dad liked black music. But
Right.
like when I was young, I'm listening to Led Zeppelin and Duran Duran and all that
Right.
stuff that all my friends listen to. And then other guys in the neighborhood turned me on to Run DMC and LL Cool J. And it's like next thing you know, you find Prince and you're like, that's the greatest musician
Right,
that ever
right,
lived.
right,
I don't
right.
care if he was purple.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And you just realize music is so much bigger than society.
Yeah, it is.
It shapes society.
Nothing moves people the way. I mean, comedy is great,
Music's
but
the ultimate
music is
communicator.
a whole different animal. And
Yeah.
like, I grew up on the soft rock stuff
Yeah.
before they had black radio.
Right.
So we had to listen to Helen Reddy and
Yeah.
Captain Tennille and all these different artists. So I grew up on this stuff.
And you're a fan. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. When
Yeah.
you become a fan of things that you didn't know, it just broadens your mind
Right.
into a place. But I want to show you something funny. So like I was talking about, like, look, Larry, if I would have introduced this to you, give me one sec here. And when say we were in our late teens, early 20s, we're hanging out in Baltimore. Ready? If I said, hey, check this song out, you're lying if you don't say you're running.
I like the guitar though.
Yeah.
Don't get us kicked off YouTube.
I'm
though.
going to play it for 7 seconds. All right, that's enough. But like,
But
that-
we actually like some rock and roll.
yeah,
Yeah, she loves rock. We love
that's because she's a musician.
Yeah, she's
man.
music,
Yeah.
but I love music too. So we love as long as it's good and it sounds good to me. The
I'm
genre
gonna give
doesn't
both of you
necessarily
right
matter.
now, and you're gonna say, I don't know where this white man came up with this, but I'm gonna tell you to look up Red Clay Strays.
You've been preaching about those guys.
It's the
Yeah.
greatest combination of country, soul, R&B. Like it is this guy. It's like Elvis meets Sam, you got to hear it. It just and the song is, I forget the big song, Wonder Why, I think it's called. I'll text it to you.
Okay. Red Clay Strays.
You're gonna thank me later, Kay. Yeah, Red Clay Strays. They're just really cool. Guy's got a great voice. It's soulful.
If I listen to them, I'm like, Mick, these motherfuckers suck.
All
I'm
right,
gonna tell you, they're great. I'm gonna say they're
And
great.
you better call in the show and just say, hey, these motherfuckers
Yeah,
suck.
I'll do. Okay, I'll owe you that.
So Matt, what else we got, buddy?
Well, today is actually the day that we lost Prince 9 years ago.
That's right.
2016, April
That's
21st.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Wow. I have said this. I will say this. I will continue to say this. In my lifetime, I have never seen, heard a more talented musical human being than Prince. I'm sure there's people that will argue with me,
Right.
but I still stand on it. Are you a Prince fan?
Oh yes, most definitely. Yeah.
Kay, you a Prince fan?
I
mean,
find it hard for you to say you love music and don't appreciate Prince.
I know
Right.
people that do it. I don't trust them. I
Yeah.
won't let them watch my kids.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Like if you don't like Prince,
Yeah,
there's
he's
something going on with you.
Amazing.
Yeah. What else we got, Matt?
So let me ask you before I get into this next story. What is the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on stage? Because Jelly Roll just told us about his most embarrassing thing.
What did he say?
Jelly Roll once pooped himself on stage, is what he said. He always gives a great interview. He's honest, never afraid to share. But maybe this time he shared a little bit too much. He and Luke Bryan were on the Jennifer Hudson show, and she asked him a question: "What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you on stage while performing?" And before Luke could say a word, Jelly said, "I pooped myself one time. I did. I'm sorry. I was confident it was all air. It was not."
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the most embarrassing thing I ever did one time, I actually pooped in Jelly Roll's pants. It was horrible. He was so pissed off at me. No, I'm kidding. I think the most embarrassing thing I've ever done on stage, I mean, I went full nude one time.
Really?
Yeah. I got on a lady one time. This is at the factory, bro. And late show on a Saturday.
One of the few places you can play.
And I said something. I felt bad.
I hope
after
it was a late show.
she came at me pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
And I made fun of her for being a big girl. And I felt bad, right? And then she said, so, you hurt my feelings. And I was like, well, you hurt mine. And then I go, look, will this make you feel better? And I took my shirt off.
Didn't
Everybody
make
laughed.
anybody feel better.
And then I took my pants down. I'm in my boxers and everybody's laughing. And I go, you know what? I'll just destroy myself all the way. I took my boxers off, grabbed my clothes, put my hands over my head and went, good night, everybody. And remember the back door right out into the office?
Yes.
Yeah, I did that one night. I was on stage for about 14 seconds, totally nude.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and I'll never forget
Wow.
this. About, I don't know, 6 weeks later, I was back, headline. It might have been longer, 2-3 months later. And I'm in the lobby for the early show. And these two very beautiful women walk up the steps. And they get to the top and they look over and I'm at the bar and they see me. And then the one looks at the other one and goes, oh, my God, it's the nude comedian. And I was like, that's not going to be my moniker my whole career. Yeah, the nude comedian.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I did that. How about you? What's the most embarrassing?
Man, I'm like, I can't follow these stories.
Have you ever, let me ask you this. Have you ever started a bit and just forgot it halfway through? That, like, I've done that.
This just happened recently.
That's because you're 79 years old.
Yeah,
now,
79.
right? Yeah.
So I started doing edibles, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And I spent my whole life avoiding drugs.
right. Me too. Till recently.
Never smoked weed, all of that.
Let me guess. You met a musician and she turned you on to how to live life comfortably.
That happened during the pandemic because I was like,
Yeah.
you know, no one
Bored
had that,
out of your
right,
mind?
Bored out of my mind.
Right.
I started with like drinking the infused lemonade, and then it moved up to the, you know, the gummies.
Yeah.
And I got so high. She said, you out there. My wife was like, you were fucking glitching. I was trying to remember the point. I got through it, but it was clear. Like,
Yeah.
So what happened was, it felt like I was on stage for 45 minutes. I was supposed to do 45. So I get off, and the guys was like, man, you got off too early, man. Do you know Tracy Wiggs? This guy from DC.
No, I don't know. I don't really know a lot of DC
So
comics.
Wiggs, he's not a comic, he's a promoter.
Yeah.
So Wig talk to you like a pimp. He be like, look here, lover. You ain't do all your time, shawty. I said, man, I did 45 minutes. He's like, nah, little ignorant.
7.
This is how he talk to you. Nah, little ignorant. you gotta go on. He say, I mean, I'm gonna go on there and squash it. I say, look, I'll go back up there and do the rest of my time.
Yeah.
Now the host is closing out.
Right.
I go back. I say, I whispered. I say, bring me back up. Right. So he brings me. I never thought I would have the balls to do this because once you get on stage, that's it.
Yeah.
So I go back up and I do what, another 30. Another 30 minutes.
What was it?
It was tough enough. Like his bit.
Yeah.
He thought he was over and done with. That in itself was tough enough. Like the crowd was kind of weird.
Yeah, they were kind of weird.
And then you kept going. And
then I went back up there and finished. And it was even better the next time. Yeah. I guess I was more cognizant and I focused.
Or more high.
Yeah.
Well, just said, I don't care.
I guess they sobered me up. I don't know what happened.
Is that the only time you've ever performed high?
No.
I can't do it.
No.
But I'm going to do it. I'm going to advertise the show because it's legal now.
Right.
I'm going to get really high. And I'm going to walk on stage and see what happens.
So when you get high, how would you do
it? There's a YouTube video, by the way, of a comedian doing an entire set on LSD.
Oh, wow. See, I could not do that. I couldn't leave the house if I was around.
I can't do the shrooms. I can't.
Yeah, see, that's where the black comedian in me comes in. I'm not doing white people drugs and then performing. You know what I mean? LSD and acid.
I had to work my way up to be able to do it with the edibles.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I've gone on stage, like I'll hit a pen in the parking lot, walk in, you got 40 minutes, 45 before you're even on, when you're closing, maybe an hour. And I'd sit and I'm like, oh, I'll be fine by then. And, when you're 30 minutes in and you're like, all right, I got 30 and you hit it again. Then I walked on stage one time and it was like, I was like, whoa. Because the way my brain works is weird in the first place. Then getting it high. Woo.
And the stream of consciousness, it's not that what it is you're trying to collect the thoughts.
Right.
And they come so fast.
Right.
And so you want to be able to verbalize what you
and
think.
Process them.
Right.
Yeah.
But the stream of consciousness, it just opens up that creative door.
Yeah.
Some of my best bits I've done when I was high, but the hard part was, can I still do this sober? Then you get to that point and I see how people get drug habits.
All right. I'm going to take a shot here. I'm going to risk a shot because I wrote a joke recently. It's a black joke, but I don't know if it's too much, but you're the person I trust.
And let me tell you something. Mickey,
you've seen me go at it.
Yo, let me tell you something. He has this bit about the N-word, right? And you know how sensitive we are about that. So Mickey was like, look, this is
don't do this bit on this air, please. Don't do the bit. Don't do it.
Can I give him the premise? I won't do the bit.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the McDonald's one. Where you was like, just put it on the menu, right?
So it was basically
and
this.
Charge.
What I said was, black people, if I were you, what I would do is I would open up a hamburger joint and I would only serve one thing and it would be called the Mick N-word.
Right.
And you don't even have to buy burgers or nothing.
Right.
White people would just come in and pay to order it and leave.
And so he does this bit where he's like looking at the menu like, I think I'll have the... Is it okay for me to say this?
order it?
It's hilarious. And then my second favorite bit is the African American.
Yeah, that bit's pretty solid.
Where he was like, "You're caught." You think, and he says this in a room full. That's how you know the joke is great because people do these kind of jokes in all white rooms, but no, when you do it in front of black people and they not rushing the stage, then you got something.
Yeah.
So he was like, "You're talking about you African American. Let a rhinoceros run down." What was Howard Street?
Pratt Street.
And see if your ass still African American.
I love doing stuff, but here's the new bit. I said, as I'm gotten older now, I'm reflecting on life. And one of the things I never really realized was, people talk about black fathers. I just want to say, I think black fathers are amazing. I mean, the neighborhood I grew up, like black fathers never left the house. I mean, I guess I never seen one. So that's the joke. Right? But can I get away with it? You think so?
Sure.
All right. Well, it's wrong, isn't it? See? Listen, I've been wrong my whole life, gang. But as long as it's funny.
The problem is if it's offensive and not funny.
Yeah, that's when you're hurting.
Then you got
people.
2 issues.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's guts, man. It just takes guts for you to do that.
You know what I truly
Never
believe?
crossed your mind once that you'd have to run out the door?
I will swear on this statement that the one thing about black comedy that I learned at a very young age, if you're speaking from experience, black audiences understand. If you're speaking from ignorance and just trying to say something,
Right.
it's like, don't even try.
They have a
I call it white
discernment.
art. They have white art.
We call it discernment. Right?
Okay.
So it's like, as long as, because I do a lot of gay jokes and I do them while gay people sitting right there.
Yeah, me too.
And now I've had gay people get offended, but they were the gay people with the agenda.
Yeah.
Just regular, ordinary gay people, they don't mind.
Everybody
They
wants to
think
be
as long as
included.
it's not coming from a mean-spirited place.
Bingo.
Right.
People can sense when it's a mean joke.
Right.
And so they're more likely to rock with you if they know it's not coming from a mean place.
Always. Oh, I firmly believe that. I've never said one thing on stage about anything, black, gay, whatever it is, where I was trying to hurt someone. What's the point of that?
Right.
Right? If I want to do that, I'll just go out in the street and get in fights. Right? I'm going to get my ass whooped, but that's what I would do. I've always just tried to make people laugh at ourselves. Because we're all idiots when you think about it. Right? Except Larry and Kay. They're amazing. Hey, what up? We got any other music story?
That's wrapping up Music Matt Minute.
All right, the Matt Music Minute.
There you go.
Brought to us by, well, today it's Barnes
Your name
Paving.
here.
Yeah, your name here. And we do want to thank Barnes Paving, our big sponsor, who's been amazing to us. Matt, listen, before we get into That's the Facts, Matt.
Yeah.
Larry, the Tuesday night open mic show you have. Any other shows coming up?
Also, the May 4th, I'm at Magooby's early show for, what is it? I think it's 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And then May 11th, Magooby's at 11.
Nice, dude. I'm going to try to come out to one of that. What's the date?
May 4th and May 11th.
Okay, May 4th, May 11th. Got it.
You're probably working, man.
I know. I got to check. But if not, I'm coming, man, because you've come to see me, and I always appreciate it. That,
yeah. Matter of fact, I want to get some of your lineup so I can bring the wife and we can come.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, you got to do the show with me.
Okay.
Get on the show. I don't know if I can afford
I'm
your
a phone
good-looking
call.
ass.
I'm a phone
Yeah,
call
but you're
away.
expensive, man. You're expensive.
I'm not as expensive as you.
Yeah, you are. You're more valuable. I'll tell you that. I just con people into giving me a bunch
the
of money.
Mickey prices. Baby.
No, stop it. We're going to do that. But right now, let's do it. This is our version of the news, Larry. This is called That's the Facts, Matt. What do we got, buddy?
Brought to you by Barnes Paving today.
Yes.
Thank you, Barnes Paving.
BARNES paving.com. Give them a call, 443-243-3710. No job too big, too small. They can do everything from patches to residential driveways to full site work. They're amazing. BARNES paving.com or 443-243-3710. Matt.
We'll start with our biggest story of the day, I think, and a sad story. Pope Francis has died, of course.
Yeah.
The Vatican announced Francis died today, Easter Monday, at the age of 88. He was the first Jesuit pope and the first from the Americas, the first from the Southern Hemisphere, and the first pope from outside Europe since the 8th century. The passing of Pope Francis means it's time to choose a new pontiff, and with that comes plenty of speculation. While any baptized Roman Catholic male can technically be elected as pontiff. Did you know that, Mick?
Yeah, anybody can, but the
Could
Cardinals.
be the new pope.
Yes, but the Cardinals have to approve it.
Right. Yes, they must be chosen by the College of Cardinals. It's been that way since the 14th century. There are currently 17 cardinals in the United States. Italy, by comparison, has 51. Cardinals under the age of 80 vote by secret ballot until a candidate gets 2/3 the vote.
Yeah, now there was a movie that came out this year that I was all excited about called Conclave.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because I love religious history.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was raised Catholic. I'm not really anymore, but you know what I mean. Anyway, this movie was great. Like, I loved it. And in the end, they did a Hollywood thing on me.
Really?
And, yeah, because here's what happened. They had to elect a new pope, right? So they all get together and they start meeting, and it's political, dude. And it's just the Cardinals in this room, and they're making teams, and they end up electing this person they didn't know, and it turns out it was like a trans person. What? Yeah, it was so, like, to me, like, I didn't care, but it was like,
we know that would never happen.
Right. Like, what are they thinking? Like, it's just like, I don't know. I loved all the movie. They like redid the Vatican. It was an incredible movie. Just a weird ending. Didn't make sense.
We know that would never happen.
Yeah. But hey, the black churches, let me ask you, you guys don't have like a head reverend, do you?
No.
There's just like each church has the boss.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's no pope. It's no big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of Christianity's like that. For real. All other Christianity, there's no head guy.
Yeah.
You know, the Pope has a coach.
It's
the coach.
It's all politics.
Yeah, that's
all
all
politics.
But I want to wish the Pope, well, he was a good Pope as far as Pope goes.
Yeah, it's relatively speaking.
Yeah, he was a good Pope. He tried to open the doors to some advancements
Right.
in society.
And not just transfer people.
I believe they're burying him, though. This is kind of neat. Instead of at the Basilica, where most of the popes are buried, it's don't tell me, Saint Mary the not Messenger, but it's another M.
It's Saint Mary Major.
Major, and it's like, and he's getting buried in the ground, and he just wants his tombstone to say. Is it? Did they say that? Is it just Francis? His Latin name of Francis. I
don't know. But yeah, that's the church where he would go, and one of the oldest churches in Rome.
Yeah,
and the one he would visit for prayer before trips abroad is what he said.
Yeah, it's a very, very old church, but it's like it's a church of the people. It's not like a big kind of church. I mean, it is, but it's a church of the people.
He was considered a pope of the people, too.
Yeah, very much so. Him and John Paul II.
Yeah.
Very progressive as far as popes go.
Absolutely.
Right.
As far as popes go, he was Elton John.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He was on the forefront of knocking doors down.
Yeah.
Now, this next one I'm worried about, Larry, because this next pope, if the right guy wins, it's good. But if the wrong section gets in, that's when we go back to like nobody allowed in the church but Opus Dei and crazy. That's what I hope doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, they're going to put the nails in their own coffin if they do that.
Yeah, of course they will. Yeah, I think they should elect a gay pope. Has there been an openly gay priest yet?
Probably.
Right.
We'll never know.
Right.
They're not. They open a lot of things, but they're not.
All right,
openly
stop,
gay.
Larry. Moving on, you funny son of a bitch. All right, what else we got, Matt? That's hilarious.
While that he passed away on Easter Monday,
it was nice till he waited. Because it's Jesus' weekend.
Right.
Even though you're the
You
Pope,
didn't want to upstage him.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can't step in.
Right.
He dies Friday.
Right.
They bury him Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. By the way, I got a new bit about how Jesus is the ultimate gangster. I ain't impressed with Tupac and Biggie no more. Because when they died, they got killed and buried. Right. Jesus got killed, and he just left. Like, that's the most OG thing I ever heard. They shot him, and he just disappeared. That's badass to me.
That is bad. I think Jesus was a lot more radical than people.
Oh God, yeah.
Because the stuff he was doing, you could lose your life for at the time.
He did
for sure.
Right.
Whether you believe he was God or a man,
but he had a nice long run.
Yeah, he did.
I read passages about where they said they were gambling in the church. He came in, knocked the tables over.
Yeah, in the temple.
Do that being a meek mouth.
Well, what happened was with that, what the temple was, they were trading in it. He was selling items, and he walked in the temple on Passover and just started knocking the shit to get out of my father's house.
Right. That's gangster.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I love it.
So big question over Easter weekend is the Easter bunny a he or a she?
Oh my
or neither?
God.
What did you guys think? If you had to guess, like how did you picture it?
Maybe I'm progressive.
Yeah.
I've always called the Easter bunny they, them.
Really?
Yeah, no, never. What are you talking about? It's an Easter bunny. Who cares what it is?
I think we assumed it was a.
Yeah.
But
I did for sure.
Given that Easter really is a holiday, a pagan holiday about fertility, it's probably a female bunny.
Well, see, I looked at it different. I looked at it like the male bunny was bringing the women gifts to honor them.
Right.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Total bullshit.
So here's how the online poll panned out. 32% said male. 5% said female, and 64% said neither or never thought about it. And here were some of the comments. They said, I think there are multiple Easter bunnies, one person said. Somebody else said, if gender isn't explicitly stated, then just assume it's male.
I bet a man wrote that.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah, except for boats. I don't think boats are female, right? Don't you? She?
Yeah, we always refer to boats as she, don't
we?
Yeah.
You know why, right? Never mind, I can't make this joke. No.
You have to now.
No. It was too hard. It was too far. Too far.
Somebody else said it's a bunny, so it doesn't really have a gender. And then somebody else said, where do eggs come from? Because rabbits don't lay eggs. Somebody said everybody knows only female bunnies lay eggs. But much to your point, Larry, somebody said that, this isn't a reproductive thing. It's like a bunny handing out eggs, right?
Yeah, right. I don't even care though. Like the fact that that's a story,
I know, right?
Bothers me. Let me tell you. Let me go a little further. The fact that it's Easter, that's the day Jesus, rose from the dead.
Yeah.
And somehow we turned that into jelly beans and chocolate.
We do it all the time.
It's crazy, right? It's like when you think about what the holiday is, it's literally one of the most vicious moments in human history. and here's a chocolate with caramel in it. Enjoy your day, kid.
Right.
I love it. If somebody's making money, yeah, I'm gonna be a bunny next year.
That's what it all comes down to.
Always.
Well, some adults had fun over the weekend as well. The Belgians in the town of Lasny decided to ditch the traditional Easter egg hunt for an adult version. Thousands gathered in the garden of an ancient abbey ready for a beer hunt.
All right, I dig it.
Yeah, the idea was to scoop up as much beer as possible, with one person finding the gold bottle. That prize turned out to be their weight in beer. The event was dubbed the largest beer hunt ever.
I like that idea.
That's because eggs are so damn high.
Right.
People ain't playing with no. Hey, it's cheaper to have beer.
Adults, right?
Cheaper to buy a 6-pack of beer than a dozen eggs.
A Hennessy hunt next year. That's cheaper than the goddamn carton of eggs right now.
Hennessy hunt. You know somebody's gonna hide a Grim and Yay out there, piss off all the black people. Right, that's what's gonna happen. What else we got?
So out in Orlando, this is what they were doing for Easter. This is pretty cool. The Orlando Bomb Squad did an Easter egg hunt for visually impaired kids. They built special eggs that made a beeping sound so they could find them. The event was inspired by a first responder's daughter who's visually impaired. Children of all ages attended the event, enjoying the inclusive Easter egg scavenger hunt.
So let me ask you this. Larry, did you guys do an Easter egg hunt at the jail?
We hunted for knives and contraband. That's what we used to do.
What's the craziest thing you ever found in a cell? Don't tell me like a dead body or something. By the way, do you ever see somebody get killed in jail?
Yeah, a guy hung himself, and we had to cut him down.
You were in there, like in the cell. We
were doing count.
No, I'm saying you went in the cell and that dude was.
And we cut him. Yeah, we had to go get him and take him down. I never forget. The guy had gotten 50 years. He come back from court. Big white guy.
Yeah.
And he hung himself. And the way he did it, because you can't like hang yourself the way they traditionally do.
Yeah.
So he tied he braided up his pillowcase, tied it around his neck, wrapped it around the window, and just let his weight drop. So he really was trying to kill himself. Because at any point he could have just stood up.
So he just choked himself out.
Basically, yeah.
Damn, that's commitment.
We had to hold him up. Because his weight, cut the rope off, and my partner kind of froze. He was just standing there, and I was like, "Yo, come on, man, snap out of him." And we had to get the guy, and you got to take him, give him CPR until the medics come. But we don't do. We had these little pumps.
Yeah, the pumps. Yeah, to put over the mouth.
Pump, and we did that till the nurses came. But he was dead because his eyes were glazed or they were purple. We knew he was dead.
You guys are not paid enough.
No doubt.
But I've seen some crazy stuff, man.
I can't imagine. That'll be another show. That'll be another show. Hey, by the way, is there any place that online people can hear Kay sing?
Sure. They can follow our page. They can go to The Real Lancasters. We got a great page where we do
We'll put that in our note. What is it? I'll put it in the chat room right now.
Yeah, The Real Lancasters.
I'll do that right now. Is it .com? What's it on?
It's IG, Instagram.
Oh, okay. The
Real Lancasters, because there are a lot of fake Lancasters out there.
Yeah, like Bert, that son of a bitch.
No, what's crazy is when you go try to get a name, you'd be surprised how many people have your name, even though you think it's uncommon.
Happened to us.
Mickey talks. Yeah. When I find that mouse, I'm going to choke the shit out of that little rodent.
But how many Mickey Caccellis are there, though?
None.
So you're like Irish-Italian, right?
Yeah. Italian-Irish, yep. Right. Yeah. And the older I get, the more Irish and less Italian. That's what I've learned.
You can see it.
Yeah, trust me, I know. It's crazy. You got anything else, Matt? What do we got, bud?
Yeah, Archer Aviation partners with United Airlines to develop electric air taxis. I wonder if this is something you would even consider hopping on.
If this is a pilotless plane, is that what it is?
No, this piloted. So air taxis are in the works at United Airlines. They're partnering up for a taxi network in New York City. Passengers will be taken from Manhattan. I think the idea is, it takes many people in New York City 90 minutes to go 15 miles to get to the airport. So they've got these air taxis, which are kind of the cross between like a plane and a drone. They've got propellers on them, and they can get you there very quickly, powered by 12 electric motors and propellers for a ride quieter than helicopters. It can take off vertically like a helicopter. No fuel costs, or it's just charging, and no pricing announced yet. But Archer promises it will be competitive with ground transportation. I heard somebody say that it would be like $3 to $4 per passenger per mile. So like maybe $70.
Yeah. One of the things I always thought, I think Manhattan has one now, but just one, is like a monorail. You like overhead. You know, the big like ski lift things.
Yeah.
You just run it right up Broadway or whatever, and it just stops every 6 blocks, and maybe it stops 40 feet above the street, and there's a platform and either an elevator or some steps. Just get rid of all that I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of the real progressive Asian countries have stuff like that too.
That I'm talking about?
Yeah. But remember, we thought we'd be in spaceships by now.
Yeah, we are, but they won't let us.
This is kind of Jetsons, you know?
Yeah,
This is kind of
Jetsons.
Jetsons.
Yes,
Right,
yeah.
right, yeah.
That's what's going to start it, and then we'll all have planes, and cars will be a thing.
That's a scary thought, man.
I'll
it
never.
is.
Yeah, I'm telling you right
It
now.
is.
I'm afraid of people driving cars. Imagine them on like their own little airplanes.
Because you have
know?
accidents in the sky now.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
right.
will say this. I do think the sky would be safer than the roads, because the roads sort of force us to be around each other and have to intersect. But if you kind of know that you just have sky lanes and that, you know, they could do it with balloons, things like that. We just stay right here. Nobody's going to cross you. You just, if you don't run into the back of someone, you're safe.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know, but I think it's coming.
I won't be doing it.
Yeah, me either, Larry.
No?
We're going to be them two old guys sitting in the park. Look at these crazy fools riding across the
Still
park.
driving
Yeah.
my Cadillac XT5.
I'll be in the back. Slow down. goddamn.
Larry will be here in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So there's new signs of life found on a distant planet. Did you guys see this story?
No.
Scientists made a major breakthrough this week in their eternal search for life beyond Earth. Using the James Webb Space Telescope, researchers have identified gases in the atmosphere of a huge exoplanet located 124 light years from Earth. These gases can only be produced by biological processes and suggest the planet may contain oceans, and with that, marine life.
Wow. I mean, I do think, sadly, none of us on this planet now will see it. But hopefully,
You
if
think?
we don't ruin the planet and we figure out a way to live in peace and harmony and realize there's more to what we've ever seen, if we can do that part, I think our ancestors, maybe 500 years from now.
I don't know, man. Stuff is moving because private
but
industry
dude,
is
I
involved
get
with
it,
space
but
now.
how do you go at the speed of light?
Right.
Well, we're not going to go the speed of light. 'Cause
So it's
not gonna happen.
124 light years away.
Right.
So
It's going to take new technology.
yeah,
And we've
and
talked.
a visit.
We've talked. Well, right. We've
Yeah.
talked about aliens.
Yeah.
And people in our government are already talking about space vehicles that
Yeah.
are not of this planet.
Yeah,
And once they start reverse engineering some of that stuff,
yeah.
it could happen.
Larry, let me ask you a quick. You know that Elon Musk thing and the Jeff Bezos thing where you get in a rocket, you go up and you look at Earth. Would you do it?
No.
Me either, bro.
No.
Me. Kay,
don't
would you
even
do
like
it? Kay,
flying.
no, Kay wouldn't do it.
Anytime I get to drive,
Yeah.
I drive. If it's 10
I'm with
hours,
you. Yeah.
I try to drive.
I will fly if I'm a little different. If the drive is more than 4 hours, I'm looking at a flight.
Right.
Up to 6, 8, it's a price thing.
Mhm.
Anything over that, I'm flying.
Right.
And I hate it.
Right.
But I also hate driving 10, 12 hours.
Yeah,
I can't-
I'm afraid of flying, and every time I get on the plane, I have to pray.
I do all that. I
Because
pray in 4
yeah.
different religions. I don't take any chances.
Yeah, I don't even get on carnival rides
No.
You and I are the same.
because
Roller coasters, forget it.
right. I've been to work before and haven't done my best job.
Right.
Who's to say the guy that's checking this
I'm with
ride?
Larry.
he
I
could be
agree
like,
with you there.
I
Yeah.
don't feel
By
like
the way-
checking it today.
By the way, walk through an amusement park towards closing time and look at their engineering staff that's looking over
Right.
the rides from the day.
Most of the guys look like they're on work release.
Yeah. Some of them are flat out hiding.
Yeah.
Well,
Just-
yeah.
yeah,
You know
it's
that ride
nuts.
was on like a flatbed like
Yeah.
15 minutes ago,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Just put together.
So no,
Yeah.
It's nuts, man.
can't do it.
So there's been a man accused of hiding a camera in a smoke detector, and he inadvertently sent an image to the woman he was kind of spying on. Charles McGuire, 70, accused of hiding a camera inside a smoke detector to take naked photos of a former tenant of a property he owns in New Hampshire.
Wow.
According to police, McGuire allegedly started recording the woman at the home in 2019. Police said they first started looking into McGuire after he inadvertently sent the message to the former tenant that contained a screenshot of the woman in a private area of the home. Now, I was just in a hotel room over the weekend, and my wife she looked up at the
Fire extinguisher.
at the fire detector. She was like, "It looks like a camera in there," and I was like, "Nah."
Mhm.
And then I saw this story today.
Oh my! Did you send it to her?
No, we're probably, at this point, what are we going to do about it? Right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me one time, how would you feel if somebody, videotaped your most private moments, sex, or whatever? And I was like, I feel sad. And they were like, oh, you'd really be upset. I'm like, for the person that got the footage, I would be sad for. Who wants to watch me? Like, if you're going, I'm going to put a camera somewhere. It's going to be with Larry and Kay, not me and whoever I'm with. I want to see pretty people having sex.
Listen, man.
Anybody wants to film me, you got a death wish. Have fun.
70 years old. He's like, whatever.
Yeah, I'll take whatever I can get.
Right.
But it is weird, though.
Of course it's weird.
Have you ever
just go to X video?
He's just the guy that got caught too. With the tiny cameras they sell now, it's all over the place, right?
I think we're all being monitored all the time.
Yeah,
I don't care though.
The best thing I guess is not to know.
Yeah, I don't or just don't care. Like I don't care. If somebody they go, well, your Google search. Trust me. All they're going to say is this guy's got issues. That's all my Google search is going to do. It's not like I'm looking up how to make a bomb,
right?
How to get young girls. It's not that. Yeah. I mean, I've put a couple weird words together in a porn search. I'm not going to lie, but nothing illegal. Yeah. You might look at me and go, huh, that's different. But you ain't going to go, you're a freak, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't care about none of it.
I like amateur porn, by the way.
By the way,
that's the best of me.
You know why amateur porn is the best? I have figured this out because you could tell the fake porn with the actresses,
multiple camera angles.
Yeah, and then no woman is that into anything.
Right.
At no point, when I watch porn, I need about 4 minutes in for the woman to go, get off my hair. You know what I mean? Put some reality in the porn, right?
Yeah. You can hear an old Martin episode in the background. You're like, oh, this was around 2002, huh? You can see dirty clothes in the corner, the kids banging on the door. I like all that.
It's so true, but that's what I like.
The chick hiding her face from the camera. You ain't gonna show this to nobody. See, I like that.
Oh yeah. I like
that stuff.
I'm with them girls. Like, oh my God. I'm like, shut up. That's so fake.
Shut up.
I like snoring. That's what I'm used to when I'm having sex.
Put my leg down.
Yeah. So
hold up.
I like
I like when the dude still has his socks on.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff is so real.
Yeah. Them socks is important though.
Oh yeah.
Get that grip.
Yeah.
His socks on backwards. That's when you know they really get it. The heel in the front. That's when you know they're getting it in. But we're trying to be good Christians now, so we're gonna have to eventually get his stuff up, man. The porn is I stopped drinking. We stopped doing edibles.
You're killing me. That's hilarious. What else we got, buddy?
So did you guys know that it is 100% legal to be buried at sea in the U.S.?
Yes.
Wow.
More than 2,500 Americans were buried at sea last year, according to data from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. There was a TikTok video shared earlier this year, and a family gathered on a boat, pushed their loved one's coffin into the ocean, and bid them farewell.
I honestly think it's kind of a noble way to die. Not die, but to give your body back to the planet. You know what I mean?
I think so too. You know what creeps me out is these bodies possibly washing up on the shore. Like you're down the ocean, you're enjoying your family vacation,
and Uncle Lenny shows up 6 weeks later. That sucks. No, I agree with you there.
On the beach.
But I do think, and maybe I'm wrong. You go out far enough. I mean, that coffin's going to sink, 600 feet.
And maybe they weight you.
They probably weight the coffin. They probably chain it.
Right. So like the shoes. They say that you could otherwise wrap the body in a sheet with some weights at least 3 miles from shore, push it off the boat, and the Navy even has a program to assist veterans of the armed services.
Now, how much does it cost? Because if it's not as much as a regular funeral, I'm cool with that. Funerals are way too much.
Oh, it's a racket, I think. You know what I mean?
What, the funeral business?
Yeah. Well, I would rather be pushed in the ocean and become fish food if that's what happens. I would just be worried.
Would you rather do that than
me
be buried?
Washing up on shore?
Would you rather? I don't want to be buried like in the ground in a box.
No,
that to me,
I
don't get. Inferno, what is it called? Cremation.
I always said cremated, but now I'm thinking something more like this.
But I wouldn't mind.
Back to nature, right? Let the fish.
You know, be a cool way to do it. like be buried at a graveyard, but on top. Like, just don't dig a hole. Just leave me right there by my tombstone, and then my skeleton will
let
just
the
the
vultures
animals
come.
and the bird eat me, and then just leave my skeleton in place, and then they'll have my name above it. Right?
Probably some health rules against that.
Yeah, probably. I think I would, now that I know you can really do the ocean, I don't know if I'm also freaked out by the ocean.
Yeah, I am too, but I'm
You're gonna be
dead
dead,
at that
though.
point.
Yeah, I think,
It's not like I'm worried about drowning, Mick.
yeah. What I thought about being like a helicopter over a volcano.
Yeah.
Just drop me down. Let me
That
go
would be great.
right in the volcano. Just,
Right.
just incinerate
That's
immediately.
Or to be just like shot off into the sun, like fired into the
I don't want to go into
out into the
space.
universe.
Nah, that freaks me out.
Yeah.
But I like going in a volcano would be fun. I always thought too it might be neat. You know them machines that like crush the cars up real small.
Yeah.
Just stick me in one of them and just it's all gone.
Wow.
Spend
I don't know.
all that money, thousands of dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
A coffin, like a cheap
Right.
one, is about $5,000.
Yeah.
That's a used Altima.
Dude,
Right.
my
And
mom-
not to mention just all those chemicals you pay
Right.
for, they pump into you to preserve you for what? For like a
It's
day. So,
ridiculous. I feel
so
like-
people can look at you.
My coffin shouldn't cost no more than the bed I slept in for the rest of my life.
That makes
The average
perfect
bed is
sense.
about $300 to $500. Why should a coffin cost any more than that?
Yeah.
Put me out with bulk trash.
Yeah, bulk trash. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even mind, like, what would you do with ashes, though? Say your family did decide to cremate you, and Kay say, okay, where you want me to spread you? Where would you go?
I would say Drew Hill Park.
Really? Is that where you grew up? Were you over that side?
No,
Where-
I told you I'm from the projects. There were no parks.
Where were you?
I bought a house not too far from there.
Okay. But what project were you in? Were you next
Douglas?
You were in
Flag. I was born in Flag House, and I was raised in Douglas, and I used to hang in Lafayette every day.
Kay. Get out now. I
So-
forgot that about you, man.
So
yeah.
it's like,
And your grandmother made sure you made it out too. Rest her soul,
yeah,
man.
my mom did too. My mom was a fighter. She taught me how to fight, man.
That's
Because
awesome.
I wasn't a fighter.
Right.
I was a nice kid,
Yeah.
and I had to learn to defend
Defend
myself.
yourself. Yeah.
Right.
No doubt. No doubt. What else we got, Matt? Anything?
So men are hat fishing on dating apps. I don't know if you heard of
Yeah,
hat
that's
fishing.
funny. We know
What
about
is?
that.
I don't.
Yeah, so insecurities, judgment, and superficial left swiping have forced some men on dating apps to resort to what's now being called hat fishing. Guys are posting pictures of themselves in hats and hoodies to avoid calling attention to their thinning hairlines or straight up baldness.
Yeah, this is a big thing in the black community.
Hats.
Is that right?
Hat fishing.
Yeah, okay.
Most times you see black guys with hats all the time. You take the hat off, they'll have another one on under it,
Really?
rather than to show that hair.
Now, I don't get this because I'm not. This isn't funny. Black men look way better
Right.
bald than white men.
True.
Why? If I was a black man and I went bald, I'd be okay.
But it's that transition phase.
Yeah.
Before they can just let it go.
Yeah, it's like the father from Good Times
Right,
look for
exactly.
a while. Yeah.
You look, your hairline look like a Wu-Tang symbol. And instead of just cutting it all off, it's like eventually some guys make that transition and cut it
Yeah,
all off.
yeah.
But guys hang on
Like
to
when Jordan went bald, he
yeah,
looked
because Jordan had hair for a
little bit. Yeah.
Right.
And then he just said, screw it,
And
and
it was
went.
like, why would you even have hair?
Yeah, if I could pull it off, but if I shave I just look like I have leukemia.
Exactly.
and I
Yeah, people
doesn't
be
do
like,
anything.
Davis is sick.
Yeah,
You
what's
know?
wrong with Mickey?
But there are some white guys, like if you watch UFC, they're pulling the bald head thing off.
Yeah,
Chuck,
there's some
Chuck
guys.
Liddell does a pretty good job of it.
I think Dana White looks all right bald.
Yeah,
he,
for
he
sure.
He looks just like Andrew from a Google.
Yeah, he does. But one of the things, that I find with white guys, especially, what I think makes it look weird is how white our head is
Yeah.
under our head because it don't get sun,
Yeah.
right? And the black guys look better because it's got color on it,
Right.
So even Indian dudes, I seen some Indian dudes bald.
Really?
Yeah, this guy that owns a shop up. I ain't gonna say where
What
it is.
kind of Indian?
Like from India. What you
Okay.
mean? Not. I didn't mean Native American.
Okay.
No. I don't think I've ever seen a bald Native American.
Right.
That's some hair
They
grown
had
people.
that hair
yeah.
forever.
Yeah, they're amazing. But this Indian dude looks cool,
Mhm.
and I think it's the color.
Right.
Yeah, I think it is like that white dome.
Yeah,
just
it's
don't-
like a green, like a real lime green.
It's
color when
weird.
You first cut it off.
Yeah, it's weird. Like Matt, if you shaved your head, you're gonna look really white
Right.
from the scalp back.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I would look, like you said, I would look like a cancer patient.
Yeah.
It'll look like a honeydew for a while.
Yeah,
until you
definitely.
got some sun on it.
Yep. And getting the sun on the top of your head ain't no joke.
Yeah,
Because through my hair, I've been sunburned.
yeah. That's the Irish part.
Yeah, way
You
Irish.
look like you're sunburned from this light if this show went too long.
I know. I'm lucky though. Like for a white guy, I got decent color.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of olive in me.
What's that? The Italian in you,
That's
right?
Yeah, it's the Italian. Yeah. I like to think it's the black, but whatever. What, got anything else, Matt?
We could do. We got a story about scientists discovering a new color. If you want to get into that, or we can save it. It's up to you.
There's a new color?
Yeah, new color.
Larry, we got somebody else to hate. I didn't even know.
We can all join forces.
It's not a person. It's an actual color.
Oh! I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I knew it. Go ahead.
So scientists claim to have discovered a new color no one has ever seen before. It's a team of scientists. Their research follows an experiment in which researchers in the U.S. had laser pulses fired into their eyes, and by stimulating specific cells in the retina, the participants claim to have witnessed a blue-green color.
Matt, you got
that
a dark
scientists
screen.
are calling Olo. Okay,
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, sorry. No problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, the new color they've dubbed Olo, O-L-O. But some experts have said that the existence of a new color is open to an argument.
I think they're just making stuff up.
I mean, how do you? I don't understand because I've seen a full prism.
Yeah.
And a prism apparently has every color possible.
We can't see every color.
Right, of
You
course.
know that, right?
Of course. The human eye can't process some things. But like, was it already an existing color? We just never saw it?
Yeah. So color is like perception of wavelengths of light.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we can't see all that with our eyes. But this color is you're only able to see it if your eyes are being stimulated with this laser. So these participants, to verify the color observed during the experiment, each participant adjusted a controllable color dial until it matched Olo. Some experts, however, say that the new perceived color is a matter of interpretation.
So basically, we won't be seeing this on Fashion Week anytime soon.
We're not going to see it.
No, I don't think.
Not.
Yeah, Kim K ain't gonna have a new Olo outfit.
A Olo outfit.
Yeah,
a Holo outfit.
Yeah, Holo outfit. Yeah. By the way, where do you fall? I got a question. Where do you fall on the Kanye thing? Is he out of the club for black people? Did he go over the edge?
I think Kanye is a brilliant person,
without a doubt.
Musically,
yeah, without a doubt.
I think he has a lot of knowledge on certain things, but I think the fact that he has these mental episodes, it does him a disservice.
Yeah,
and I think he got caught up in that Hollywood stuff, and I think he did some things that he regrets.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to spend a lifetime trying to make up for those things.
Yeah, I do too, and it's a shame.
Yeah,
it's a real shame
because I grew up with mental illness. My mom had
me too. I got it,
and she was
real.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm bipolar. I'm all of it.
And so you have these episodes, and if someone catch you doing that episode, it can kind of unravel everything you've ever done and said.
Yeah, but Larry, look, I'm bipolar. I'm crazy. People around me know it. I know not to take the Jews on. You know what I mean? Like that was crazy. I'm not even saying that funny. Like, why would you be that anti-Semitic?
Yeah, he sold a swastika t-shirt.
Yeah, like what is that?
Yeah, I think he had some great points about the and I want to choose my words carefully. Sure. I think he had some great points about how they kind of dominate the music industry and the media in general, and a lot of the things that is inequity, but the swastika stuff and all that
you
kind
can't
of stuff.
do that.
Like he says things and then doesn't really back it up with any information or any proof. And most people write you off as crazy. It kind of undoes everything you said.
Yeah, well, but when you sell a T-shirt with a swastika on it, that kind of undoes everything you say.
But here's the other thing about the swastika. The swastika has many different meanings.
I get it, and I respect you on that.
It's just something because most people are gonna associate it with that.
Yeah,
it's just best to just stay away from it.
Yeah, I get it.
No one's really going to take the time to say, "Oh, this meant something else."
Right.
Thousands of
like
years
if you go over
ago.
to India right now, you're going to see them all over the place, but it doesn't mean the same thing that it means.
Yeah,
here
it's
in
like
America.
when Michael Jordan grew that little Hitler mustache. Remember, everybody flipped out on him, and he let it grow back. Right?
Yeah,
He did.
it's some things. It's not worth the squeeze.
You know how badass you got to be to ruin a hairstyle?
Yeah,
Hitler ruined that mustache. Charlie Chaplin.
Chaplin was the only person that could get away.
Think about it. Charlie Chaplin was like the funniest man in the world.
Yeah,
and he had that. Then Hitler did it. And never saw it again.
Right.
Crazy.
Well, how about people named Adolf? I mean, you rarely see that, right?
Yeah.
They have a name.
They have a famous basketball coach in an arena called Adolph Rupp.
Really?
Okay.
From Kentucky.
Wow, look at you
Yeah.
bringing the basketball knowledge to two white guys under 5'7", have no idea what you're talking about. What else we got, bud?
That is the facts, Matt.
Awesome, Matt. Brought to us by Barnes Paving. Larry Lancaster, K. Go to check out The Real Lancasters
Yes.
on Instagram. Larry, it is always a pleasure hanging out with you.
Joy, man.
And Kay, I would love to have. I'm serious. I will talk to Larry. We'll get you up here and do your music. You guys come in together, Kay. I'd love it. Larry, always a pleasure. I love you.
You're back, man.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm glad you're well.
And thank you for doing this for me, man.
Awesome.
I really appreciate it. If you ever hear the name Larry Lancaster in the comedy club, folks, do yourself a favor. He is hilarious. He's a true Baltimore kid, and I love him to death. Matt, we will be back tomorrow.
Let's tell people to subscribe to the new YouTube channel because
Yes.
we're going to eventually be there.
Yep.
We're on all the platforms, by the way.
We're
We
on
forgot to mention
everything
that.
now. You can find this show everywhere.
Apple,
Yeah.
Amazon, wherever you consume podcasts, we're there now.
Yeah.
You can find us, and make sure you subscribe to YouTube.
And share this if you're on it. Share this. Everybody, thank you. Tomorrow, great guitar player from town, an insane singer, phenomenal man, Scott Spivey will be here. He's funny, super talented. Can't wait to have him. Everybody else, remember, just be nice to each other. Try to tell a joke every now and then and smile through your day. It's a great way to live. I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Facebook Live, always, every day, Monday through Friday. See you guys. Thank you.